Hey guys, we are Drifter Journey here giving you a tour of a very awesome rig. We are here with our very dear friends Day and Heidi. Day actually built out our own van, which is awesome, and you guys can view our van tour to get any details on what that looks like. But we are going to tour their personal rig, which is a very special rig, and if you want to find more out about them, you can follow them on G-Spot Acres. We will give the link to their information in the description below. So Day, you want to tell us about this vehicle?
Yeah, so we have a 1978 Mercedes-Benz 911L. Started out as a forest fire service vehicle, crew transport, getting into rough and rugged back terrain environments, and it's changed hands a couple times. There's the original builder in Germany who did a great job. His family spent 6 years traveling the world in it. Got switched over to a gentleman in New Mexico, and then somehow landed in our laps, and we just rebuilt it, the entire inside and out, and this is what we have.
So how long have you guys had the rig, and how long did it take you to build it out?
Oh gosh, what, 4 years now? Probably?
Yeah.
I've probably had it for around 4 years. You know, like most projects, you know, because we do this for a living, so we gutted the entire thing, and then it just sat vacant for several years. And I guess thanks to COVID, we had an opportunity to finish our own vehicle finally. So yeah, so we finally got it finished, and our aim was, over the years, we acquired just a lot of build materials from other folks' vans, and I wanted to try and reuse almost everything we had on hand. It was very important to me, obviously, because it's just, you know, essentially money sitting on the shelf. And I was like, okay, let's try to make this all work. So I guess when you're going through this tour and you're kind of like, oh, like, why did they do this? Or why did they do that? Or like, that's disgusting, I never would have done that. Like, keep in mind, like, it's literally all the stuff we had on hand in our shop that we wanted to reuse, you know, so we had minimal money spent, you know, on everything that we did. So this is what we ended up with.
Well, this is a mural. We wanted something that was different, that caught people's attention, and I painted this a couple years ago, and then just recently redid it so the colors are brighter. Over time it had faded, so I guess this could be like Calypso or something. It's up to you. Her hair turns into tentacles and waves, and so we have a pirate ship, and then it just wraps around the vehicle and has other kind of nautical tie-ins. Yeah, that's what it is.
Love it.
I guess starting off with the exterior, a couple things we did. So we have full-time cameras that we put inside here. We have the propane tank right down here. This is our fresh water fill that's up on the side. We have an auxiliary diesel tank, an extra 60 gallons, which is super awesome. We went with the deadbolt, like a little what do you call it, security slash deadbolt for the entry door. This is going to be an Airbnb when we're not using it on the property, so it'll be kind of fun. We put in a portal window, which kind of goes with the whole nautical theme. You know, some nice yellow lights. It's the perfect patio light. It's awesome. Like, if you want a patio light, yellow is the way to go because it's nice and soft and not too bright. You can use it at all times of day. Mural continues onto the back. We have a Kuat bike rack with the swing out, which is just awesome. Really nice, well put together product. Coming around to the side, we have, you know, kind of the European windows, which are double insulated, which are really awesome. So, you know, you don't have a lot of heat and cooling loss or gain due to them not being glass. So they're double insulated, which work extremely well. These are old aircraft landing pads, which are kind of fun. They're heavy as hell, and you really don't want to be in a position where you got to pull them down because it's a pain in the ass, but at the same time, they work and they just look cool. So then coming over here, roof rack. This was already done. We just kind of modified it a bit to our liking, painted it. You kind of see the outlet. We have a Suburban hot water heater. This is their newer on-demand hot water heater, which works incredibly well, and some cobwebs. This is the cassette area for the toilet. So pull that out. We also have a little outside shower that comes out of the bathroom area. Just mounts inside there. And coming around to the front, we have a storage box up top, and we just put a bunch of fun driving lights on the front to just kind of, you know, add to the coolness of the rig, along with a full-time camera as well up top. Here we are on the upper platform. This is over the cab area, and we like to utilize this for eating dinner and watching sunsets. So, you know, when we're on the road, we'll stop off and grab a rotisserie chicken, some bread, cheese, and just like sit down in the chairs, hang out, chill, watch the sunset. You're pretty high off the ground. You're about 12-ish feet. But yeah, it's a great little area. Sometimes the boys want to sleep up here as well, so it's easy to just, you know, throw one of those pop-up tents up here, and they can just, you know, this is their little bunkhouse for the night, which is rad, because then it just gives me and Mama like time without kids. All right, so now we're up on top of the roof of the actual living quarters. We have a couple 100 watts of solar. We have a max fan over here to exhaust some of the heat out of the vehicle, and then we also have a marine hatch which we open up and have fun crawling in and out of. The boys love crawling in and out of that thing. We also have another little exhaust fan that we installed over the kitchenette that you'll see once we get on the inside. But that's from the marine world as well. It just pops up, and it's exhaust only, but it's perfect. We did a white coating up on the rooftop here to reflect a little bit and help with the heat buildup / retention. So this is a rubberized roof coating, which is awesome. And right where Greg is standing is going to be the chimney for the wood stove that will be going in fairly soon here. But yeah, we've always wanted a wood stove inside here, so that will happen, and we have the inside built out and ready to go for it once it arrives. So yeah, we're super excited for that, and that's kind of the last little touch that's going to finish this thing off. So that rounds out the outside, and now we'll go in and check out the inside. So here we are in the front cab. So this would be, I guess, technically called a double cab truck. These are the two captain's chairs, and that's kind of like our media center. So you can see the two monitors that we have posted up with the cameras. We have 4 cameras total, 1 front, 1 rear, which are able to record if we want to, and then also 2 on the sides because it's such a large vehicle, being able to get over or past folks or seeing blind spots. It helps out really nice. But it's 1978, so just it's super, super old and quirky, and there's weird things that you kind of have to understand with old vehicles and how they work and operate. But it is a inline 6 diesel, so they're used all over the world, and it's just it's a steady workhorse in a lot of countries. So tried and true, just a great overall rig. You know, really, really nice. Underneath here we have our start batteries. Kind of where that goes, we have auxiliary batteries that we have mounted underneath this unit here. Here we have our charge controllers. We do have 2 charge controllers because we run 2 different battery systems. The unit itself is 24 volt, and all of our house items, or the majority of them, are 12 volt. We kind of run some things off the 24 volt system as well, so that's the reason why we have 2 charge controllers over here. We have our S-Bar thermostat. It's the D5 S-Bar, mounted right underneath this bench seat right here. We have this really cool fan that we kind of discovered on this build that we highly recommend because it's just awesome. We did our ceiling just, again, with reclaimed materials, stuff that we had on hand, and lights, things of that nature. So we have dimmable lights. We have one red light and one blue light because that's just what we had in the box, and we used it. Other cool things, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. It has a rear locker right here. It's push button start, which is rad. So yeah, super cool. The only other, I guess, thing, you know, to note of older vehicles that come from anywhere in Europe, they have speed limit restrictions and regulations on large, heavy vehicles. This vehicle is maxed out at 80 kilometers an hour, so that's just per regulations in order for this vehicle to be manufactured. So it's not the fastest moving thing, but it surprisingly gets about 14 miles to the gallon, which, man, we're so happy with in a vehicle this size. Get this. So we did a sound system all throughout, which was much needed. So we have our front speakers mounted externally. We put in some reading lights for the kiddos that are kind of on swivels that have dim functions. These were really, really cool. We got them and they didn't work out for a build, so we threw them inside here and they work rad. So yeah, so that kind of rounds out that. We have our subwoofer mounted underneath here and some electrical randomness. Amplifier as well. So these back cushions right here lift off. You pull on them, they lift up, and right here where our feet are, they kind of fold down right here in this platform and complete the bed for the kids. So it's a huge space when the bed panels are down for them, for sleeping, hanging out. A lot of times we just keep them down full time because it's easy to get in and out and crawl over them, and they're nice and soft. So yeah, so it's a fun little spot for them. It keeps it nice and separate. For Mama and I, we can put up a screen in between the front cab and the rear living quarters and completely block them out, which is awesome. And I guess now we'll jump to the back and kind of continue the tour.
All right, guys, so we are actually going to take a break for the build video real quick and talk about one of the passion projects these guys are working on. Day is what we would call a serial entrepreneur, and he's got a million ideas firing in his brain, and they're all really great. So we're going to talk about the farm and their property and what they're working on right now. So what do you guys want to share with our followers about G-Spot Acres?
Yeah, so I guess through the interesting situation we're all in here in the world, we have a lot of vehicles, personal vehicles that we have a lot of plans and ideas for. One in particular was a school bus that ended up being a moving truck to get us out here. So we decided to turn it into a grow bus. So it's kind of fitting as well because we have little kiddos here, 8 and 10. And the idea and thought was we're going to turn it into a microgreen bus, but we want to make it fun. So it could possibly be an open free day on like Fridays for our boys, as well as maybe a few of their close friends to just complement the education that they're going to get. So they're in kind of a interesting learning mode, so it's off-site, online learning, and we're essentially going month to month, where they're weighing the situation on whether or not to open up school. But at the same time, our kids love being out in nature, and there are a lot of, I'm sure, local families and kiddos also that like being out in nature. So being able to have like a fun spot on the farm that's essentially kind of like a Friday field trip. So it's like you have studies Monday through Thursday, and then people know that they're allowed to come here and kind of check out the grow bus, so that they learn a bit more. I think these times it's registering about where things come from, and growth and food and vegetables, and this is a way to kind of teach kids at an early stage and age where that comes from. So microgreens are relatively easy. We're in the process of doing that build out, but it also enables them to learn like earth science, life science. It's perfect for STEM type schools and education. We want to do it 100% off-grid, 12-volt power supply. You know, so then it kind of teaches kids low voltage electrical engineering, things of that nature, and just like a lot of tech inside there. So, you know, we have rad, awesome pink and blue grow lights, 12-volt powered mini fans, you know, music, and it's turning out to be a lot of fun, is what we're encountering, and hopefully, yeah, it can be used as field trips, you know, once we do get back into school. You know, maybe, you know, their teachers or other schools, you know, kind of want to come and just do a field trip here at the farm, or we can drive it up to the school and just show them the process of what we're doing. So that's kind of what we're going on right now. It's yeah, just a fun project that came out of the blue one day.
Heidi, you spent quite a bit of time kind of making your own little mini homestead here on the property. Do you want to share with us like kind of some of the things you're working on with that?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, we kind of thought, well, if we were going to start a garden, which we do. So along the lines of this build, using all the things that we had already there, coming to this property, we had a lot of materials that were just left here over like 70, 80, 90 years. And I used a lot of those materials to build garden beds so that I could test out living here and what the growing is like here. And then we have our chickens and built out coops for them, and we're going to be going on an adventure with more chickens, and so just keep putting things into the homestead that are going to help with along the lines that the bus is going along with like education and self-sustainability and community.
So you guys are our idols because this is something that we want to do in the next phase of life as well. Homesteading is definitely in our future. And earlier today we also visited the bees. So you guys are starting out with beekeeping and hopefully harvesting some honey later this year or maybe in the spring.
Yes. So that's been really exciting. It's something we've wanted to do for a very long time.
Yeah. It's really cool. I mean, I totally respect beekeepers. I think it's a lost art, and yeah, we have lots of footage of that to share as well.
All right, so we're going to go into a rapid fire question to get you some answers real quick. How big is the farm?
22 acres.
Nice. What can you forage naturally right now?
Blackberries.
And?
Black walnuts,
Black walnuts.
mulberries.
Mulberries are out of season.
Asparagus?
Asparagus.
Oh, asparagus, yeah.
Nice.
Raspberry.
Well, fish.
Almost.
Maybe fish?
Fish.
Yeah, we're on a
Yeah.
river.
Yep.
Okay. Long term, how do you see yourselves selling products from the farm, or do you see yourselves selling products from the farm?
Yes. I guess big picture. Big picture is, you know, we want to have a farm stand, but we don't want to be married to it because we do a lot of things. So
Yeah.
we like cultivating, we like the bees, we you know, want to be cheese makers, we want to have a vineyard and make wine. So there's a lot of things that we enjoy doing, but at the same time, like, there's only so much you can do. So as far as like our farm stand, like, it's going to be there, it's going to be set up, you know, with everything that we make, but you know, we really want it to be on an honor system. It's kind of funny because we want that name on a couple of different reasons. One, because it evokes like people to like, oh, G-Spot Acres, like, what's the meaning of this? So yes, I guess you can take it, you know, if you know you're not on the sidewalk and you know your mind's in the gutter. You can take it one way, but you know, rather than defining ourselves by, I guess, just the name, just one thing, you know, because we do so many things, and we're so passionate about a lot of stuff, we kind of have three words that sum up G-Spot Acres. The first one is grit, second one is gratitude, and the third one is generosity. So those are three just big power words that mean a lot to us and our family.
As you know, they built our van. Are you building other vans?
Yes. So, you know, now that we're in our own space, we're okay with it in building, but being able, like, just the comfort of our own space. I mean, it's mind blowing how the mind is at ease and you're just like, oh, like, yeah, like I'm back at it. And also finishing this was a huge project. And yeah, we're building. We have an amazing build in-house right now that just got delivered to us from Steamboat Springs. Yeah, 2019 Sprinter, so that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, so you guys can watch our van tour if you haven't seen it, to see what Day does. Also, obviously you're seeing it in here. You're going to get 100% custom if you go with him, because that's how he works. And it's going to be special. Look, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
Oh my goodness, you do.
It's going to be custom. So, we've been in ours for over 2 years full time. We love it.
All right, so here we are in the back, and we're gonna let Post explain a piece that he designed and made in 3D printed. So
my dad, we didn't have a cover for the tank level majiginator. So my grandpa and I measured it all out and worked for like 3 or 4 days designing this on CAD. And then once we were finished with that, we printed it out. And we do have to solder the tank level thing back on because we accidentally broke it while we were measuring. And yeah, that's pretty much what I had part in this build, how I had part in this build.
You stoked about it? Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
sweet. All right, so yeah, so we have our water tank level indicator. This is our Suburban on-demand water heater thermostat. Switch here for the water pump, USB and 110 volt outlets, and a couple more over here. We kind of made things accessible, so we have this fold down hatch with some electrical that's running inside there, you know, or if we have a water leak for some reason, it's easy to get to. We have our cooktop over here, 3-burner and sink. So turn that on, turn the water pump on. Works super rad. So we rigged this up to where we do have somewhat of a gray water tank underneath this cabinet right here. So we'll pull this open. Oh, yeah, you can hear our water heater possibly kicking on. It's set to 130, so whenever the water comes on and you turn it to hot, it just automatically kicks on and fires up. I'm super excited about this water heater. First time we've had one. First time we've ever installed one, and I love it. But we do, here's our gray water tank. We put that on a valve to where, you know, if we're someplace where we're gonna get a bunch of dirty looks for dropping water on the ground, we can just turn the valve and it'll drop into this bucket. But otherwise, when we're wild camping, you know, it just goes straight onto the ground. It's no big deal. Truck fridge here. This is 128-ish. It's one of the larger truck fridges, but awesome capacity. We modified it a bit. We put on some chalkboard vinyl on the front so we can just write some, I don't know, cool messages and draw pictures on it. So fun stuff there. Yeah, so here's the vent that we spoke about on the upstairs area. Super rad. So you just push it up or pull it down, depending on what you're using it for. Hit the button and it fires up. Here's another cool thing that we've never used before, what we had on hand, and you know, some touch lights right here, and then if you touch them, they have built-in dimmers which go high and low. Super awesome. We put in a Nest fire alarm. It's kind of a new 20th century, you know, gizmo. It's made for the home, but it's battery operated, and in theory you can connect it to your phone if you want to, but it's a Nest product and we have them in our house, so we figured we might as well just throw it inside here. Towel rack right here, and then this is the area where the wood stove is going to go. So holes already cut and ready to go. We have our heat shield, tiled heat shield right here. The wood stove is going to sit down in this area. This is also the area that houses our water tank, our water pump, and the water accumulator to hold pressure and keep things flowing smooth. If you have a pulsing sensation in your RV, like Greg and Jess may have, it's because there's no accumulator inside there. So the accumulator just holds that pressure and keeps it at a constant. Not so bad when you're just working with a sink, but when you have a shower setup, you definitely want the accumulator because you don't have that constant surge of in and out. Bathroom here, we rocked this out. We did tile. It was kind of one of those things where it's a big heavy vehicle period, so putting in an extra 100 pounds of tile really doesn't make or break mileage in this thing. Like, you can load this thing up, you know, or strip it completely down, it still gets the same mileage regardless. So we did all of this marine grade type materials, mastics and glues, so it's super watertight. We did a fun octopus tentacle mosaic on the back wall there. We have the Thetford cassette toilet, and this is the you know, the exterior shower handle that we showed you previously, as well as interior shower as well, with a nice little vent inside there. We did a stone pebble floor, just kind of rounds it out. Again, having fun with this whole part of it. So we'll go ahead and close that guy on up. Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Went over that. So then we have more counter space over here. Kind of how we did it. And I guess countertops, if you kind of saw those on this side, these are copper. We did copper countertops, and then we kind of did this fun patina on it. We wanted to make sure that they were still food grade, so it's not a chemically enhanced product. We did this just doing, you know, essentially a process that we came up with that we were happy with, and it turned out super awesome. Backsplash tile, you know, randomness. We had a bunch of black iron pipe to fill this area. This came about because we needed some way to disguise this 110 outlet that we had running through the wall out here. So we found a box that accepted 1/2-inch pipe fittings. We had all this pipe on hand, so we're just like, oh, well, let's just make it to where we can hang stuff off it. And it turned out that is like the perfect paper towel holder / gizmo, you know, utensils and things of that nature. We have some upper storage up here for spices and such, you know, whatever we want to carry. We did LED light stripping all the way around. First time we've done that. We normally use puck lights, but for this particular situation, I wanted a variance of lights, and this was the only way that I could find cool white, warm white, and daylight all in one. So I guess depending on where we're at and like the mood, it's wonderful because it has settings to where we can hit all temperature levels. Here is the hatch again from the inside that we can open up, crawl in and out of, and then just tons and tons. Oh, I guess we'll close that one. Tons of storage. So we did a double shelf, just so that, you know, false shelf, so we can put larger utensils in here. You know, probably our dinnerware up inside this one. Soft close hinges on those guys. We have our little rubbish container down here. So we have a lid on that one to keep smells and things in, keep the dog out of it, and we put a door on it as well, so it's just out of the way. But yeah, tons of just deep storage. We like cooking with cast iron, so, you know, we have a couple large heavy pots, but yeah, we're not hurting for storage one bit. So we have a cutting board here. It's just extended counter space. It was just something that we just threw in here because it's nice when you're cooking over here and you kind of have, you know, a cutting prep area. If you have a bunch of stuff up here that you don't want to remove. So that was the idea behind that. So yeah, just trying to maximize space, you know, is kind of how we do our builds. You know, and then we kind of double it up over here as well, underneath the dining table. So on each side, we have four of these massive containers right here, and it kind of works out well because we can just put all of our clothes in there. So one is for, you know, each one of the boys, and one for Heidi and myself. So we can just load up all of our stuff that we want to bring, and you know, that's what you're limited to. So like you have one drawer to bring whatever you want, and that is it. Another I guess part of the storage is, you know, I guess you can remove the panel, but I hinged these bed panels here as well so that they can lift up, so you can access all of, you know, the 4 drawers, 2 on each side. Then you can also hit the excess storage, so if you have inflatable paddle boards and things of that nature, like they go right underneath these drawers. So it makes it very, very usable and functional, you know, just a couple steps. So then, yeah, you just close that up, drop it on down, and then you're back to your seating arrangement. We do have more, I guess, in theory, shelving and storage underneath all of this. You can see our bed is elevated. We did that for a reason. We wanted to be able to sit up high, but the main reason is because we have the rear hatch right here, and when you open it up, it's awesome to just sit at the dining room table and be able to look out wherever you are. So if you back up to the mountains or sunset or water, eating dinner inside here, having the rear hatch open, that's the reason why it's built up so high. But it also adds a bunch of storage as well. We do have sliders down here, which we haven't really figured out what we want to do, but they're the long locking sliders, 1,000-pound capacity, 30-inch. So eventually we may throw a shelf or, I don't know, something down there as we see fit. And then it comes to our bed right here as well. So this is the tabletop that we kind of epoxy finished. Heidi did, you know, carried on with the mural theme inside here. My favorite part is the little boat, little paper boat there. So this is Calypso's hair, you know, that has turned into waves, you know, the theme from the outside. So this panel right here pops off, lifts up super easy, and I guess can we show them that?
Yeah, we'll show them.
So we'll kind of,
Pressure's on.
we'll bring this guy, and I don't know if it's loose. You want to see if
And that's is that a lagoon mount?
it is a lagoon mount. I love this thing. I actually bought it for your guys' build.
And what did we get?
you got a homemade to lift up on that. So yeah, so this panel comes up, and then it's on the cushions, rests there, slides into place here, and then the backrest, these panels slide over, and the backrest pillows complete the bed. So then it's equivalent to about a queen size bed right here. And then we have like a little pin-up mermaid sexiness going on right there. So yeah, and then yeah, so then we can swivel off the legs, so we can remove it completely. It's super versatile, so it has tons of movement in it. You can slide it to the left, right, or just loosen it up and pull it out all together. And then so then I guess if you want to open the hatch, we have the hatch on gas struts, then you open that up and voila, now you're enjoying the great outdoors while you're sitting here eating dinner, hanging out, chilling.
Alright guys, so that wraps up the tour of this awesome, unique rig. Thanks again for joining us. So one quick thing that we like to do at the end of the tours is ask them what their favorite and least favorite parts of the build are. So go. Favorite part?
Yelling.
My favorite part is the storage and functionality.
Okay.
The soon-to-be wood stove, definitely going to be my favorite part.
Nice.
And least part is the first time I got to pull that cassette out and empty it in the toilet.
Oh, I vote.
That toilet, I vote. Favorite part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you were saying I love it.
No, I'm like, oh no, I agree. That's not going to be my favorite part.
And you came late. You got anything you want to add for us?
Nope.
Nothing?
What's your favorite part?
What's your favorite part?
All of it.
All of it. I like
Like
it.
it.
You got a
All
favorite?
right.
The only one that comes to mind is the cover.
Yeah.
The part you did?
Yeah,
That's
3D
fair.
printing. I like that. Sweet.
Alright, so thanks again for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave comments. These guys are happy to answer any questions. And again, you can reach out to Day for any build questions, or if you're interested in a van. Again, we'll link G-Spot Acres below for you. So just to summarize this build, it's super unique, it's really cool, and as you can tell, there's thought and intention with every detail in here. It's really special, and these guys are going to love it.